Alright, so one of my viewers suggested I have a look at this Talon. He's Yadio Shen, something like that, right? And he's a Talon player. We're gonna have a look at a, little supercut of a game here. See what is going on, and maybe maybe this one is worth it. Checking this guy out a little bit more, studying the VODs. Talon right now pretty nasty. Probably peeking out right now, given the fact that Youmuu's Ghostblade is going to get nerfed. And I'm not really expecting any other item to be as good on Talon as Youmuu's Ghostblade, as it pretty much works perfectly on him, right? So I think he's going to be as strong as he will get for this week still, and then after that he's going to get nerfed. Now, it's not so far not looking like a terrible nerf. Don't worry, you can still play Youmuu's. It's just going to be a little bit more balanced, put it that way. Alright, so this is a classic flash, right? If you check out Talon and high elo, people always dodge the W, the second W with flash. But very good. He's using the parkour here to be able to gap close onto the Lee Sin here. Now this is interesting. Yeah, we're just we're just running away from the enemy team, parkouring around. And on the way back to mid lane. The thing is, right, he is a very high level. So right now he won't be able to parkour a lot of these walls for a very long time. Now, another thing, of course, is he has a very difficult matchup here for himself. So Nidalee will trade 1-for-1 with the Swain. Swain, very good. Okay, I don't know. Oh, okay, hold on. How this wall was red? Okay, so today we learned if there's a small little gap, then you can jump that one. Fair. I didn't even know that. Alright. So, I mean, he managed to get a kill already. Now we just see him roam. However, yeah, so he's roaming after, which we can extrapolate here, right? From the position of the Swain. Gets a double kill by just very simply just roaming behind the Swain. And he's gonna keep fighting here, as Swain of course doesn't have the ultimate. And we get the passive proc here. Dodge into the tower. We will go down. But, I mean, still a triple kill for us, so, no reason to complain. I'm not sure what happened here now. But yeah. Just getting a casual plate. Whatever the lane state was there before. Just dead. No flash. And he will pick her up. The thing is, like, Talon is a little bit difficult. Talon's kind of a weird champion, right? Talon's kind of difficult to be impressive on, I would say. With Talon, it's a lot of it is just stats, right? And so I feel like, similar thing with Fizz, but Fizz still has that E invincibility and stuff, right? But what is really good is, like, you can see these 1-tricks just have a very, very different grasp of, like, all-in timings and stuff like that, right? So here, for example, he's very sure he can kill this Lee Sin. So he will just play around that, we'll take him down. He does, which is important, he does leave the assist here for the Yone, right? So he lets... Sorry. He lets Yone tag the Lee Sin once, and then goes on killing him, which is very important. Sharing assist gold is very, very important. Alright. So the CSing pattern hits 2 minions 2 times, and then Q's the last one, frontline minion. Rest you can just rake. Well, Talon, but Talon. Ezreal is not going to be able to run away from the Talon here. However, for now we are just taking the Blitzcrank. I mean, this is the thing, right? The situation right here. This is where you know you can very easily be outplayed as Talon. Your mobility not that strong, right? Talon is very good at running away or running after people, but playing around the same area, of course, definitely not the same thing. As you start to put points into your E, that becomes much better, of course. Oh, massive damage already. We have Yomu's Ghostblade here. 20 stacks. Remember, the way that Yomu's Ghostblade works, and this is something that I've noticed many times. People build Yomu's Ghostblade on Pantheon, but then often they do it even in matchups where all you do is you Q spam, right? So you just like press Q on an enemy and you don't full combo them. Why are you building Ghostblade then? Most of the time then the Ghostblade lethality is going to proc on one of your Qs and then not on the rest, right? So Ghostblade definitely specifically designed for the champions like Talon that have this like 4 to 5 second burst window. Lord heaven above. In which they burst you. But yeah, so then we are running Edge of Night here as a secondary. I mean, Edge of Night's kind of a just brain dead item that people build almost always. The thing is, so a couple of things, right? Because you have a force crit, technically your collector is a little bit less valuable. A little bit. Tiny, teeny amount. The other thing, though, is Axiom Arc is an item, if you're building a lethality, is an item that not only does it have a good passive, it has a ridiculous gold efficiency. I think it's still the most gold efficient item from all lethality items. It definitely is if you don't factor in the crit from the collector. Now, the crit from the collector is, you know, a bit of a question mark, of course, right? Because on some champions you're going to use it a lot, but on Talon, you know, very oftentimes you're not going to be able to use it anyway. So yeah, that's a little questionable. But yeah, so we see him pick up a lot of money here. And of course now he's just terrorizing the side lane. And I mean, if you're this strong as Talon, the game kind of plays itself. The difficult thing on Talon is to get ahead early. And the way he managed that was just perma-grouping with his team, roaming with his team, being there. Not being afraid to drop CS at all. However, of course, still getting all the CS whenever he can. Is something that you see on all those champions, like the Sylas, like the Talon. Most AD champions specifically like short recalls, very aggressive early games, and trading 1-for-1, as that accelerates them. Oh, this game wasn't really necessary to trade 1-for-1, but what you will often find is that these, for example, Talon players, when they don't feel like they can get any honest like advantages, they just trade 1-for-1. And odds are that they are going to benefit more from the accelerated state than, for example, like a Victor they're playing against or whatever. As, you know, that accelerated state then helps them against an AD carry or something like that. So yeah, let's see if LeBlanc can outplay this. I mean, she kind of did, right? Yeah, she kind of did. Did manage to get away there, as the Talon just absolutely insane. Has the XM arc in the pocket right now, of course. At this point, armor penetration, probably something that he's thinking about. Not that much armor. The Swain on the enemy team will have armor for sure, right? And then I'm not entirely sure who else might have armor. But, you know, the top lane LeBlanc surely doesn't build any. And we don't really care about Blitzcrank, so not that much. But at this point of the game, you have reached the point where you kind of can also count melee champions, and can just say like each melee champion you can just consider armor penetration worth it on, right? So definitely not too bad. And we are picking up Cyrilda's Grudge. Cyrilda's Grudge also really nice because of course it has the slow and stuff. Alright, so far so good. The flash once again, but I mean, yeah, Talon if accelerated just looks so dumb. It just looks so bad. Capable of very, very high damage numbers. I think the most skillful thing out of Talon would be the E usage, and specifically using it to kind of parkour around early game, and we saw that very, very strongly this game, where he used the E on different parts of the wall, right, to get close with the Lee Sin to get himself the first kill, to outplay the rest of the fight, and then still get back to his wave as well. So if you can manage to use it very well, then I think that parkour is definitely going to be one part in which champion mastery on Talon is the thing. Ooh. Is the deciding factor. I think the parkour is going to be that one thing. Other than that, you know, his like all-in patterns pretty simple. Right, you just want to proc your 3-hit passive. There you go. Your ultimate becomes like a point and click kind of thing when you attack someone. Okay, sure. Your Q is a crit if it's close range and you heal, and it's a jump if you cast it on a long range target. I mean, you know, Talon's not a crazy champion. It's not gonna blow your mind with the complicated Talon combos that are possible. But at the end of the day, very solid kit, of course, and I'm impressed with everyone who makes this champion work in high elo, as of course in high elo. Talon, if he's not completely busted right now, Talon kind of is a difficult one. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one, and stay awesome.